There's going to be 5 main components for a flat tail setup with any vehicle. First one's going to be your base plate, second your tow bar, then your safety cables, your wiring, and your braking system. With the Chevy Equinox, it's going to require 3 additional parts. We're going to require a brake light switch, a fuse master fuse bypass, and a charge line. What our diode wiring kit's going to do, it's going to allow us to transfer all of our light signals from our RV through to our towed vehicle so that not only we're legal but we're safe while we're flat towing. Our customer chose the high-powered diode kit that we have here because they have the Nighthawk all-terrain tow bar that's going to come with the umbilical cord and the 6-pole plug. There are many different options available for diode kits or tow bar wiring kits out there that either come with the 6-pole plug or come with the umbilical cord. The benefit to having diodes is the diodes are going to protect the factory wiring on the vehicle from any backfeed from the RV if the RV has a wiring issue and vice versa. To begin our diode wiring, what I did is I attached a little bit of wire onto the 2 bars or 2 rods coming out from my base plate. You just put a little bit of tape around it to hold it. Ran it up behind my driver's side headlight, brought a little loop up, and I zip tied it right here. You don't necessarily have to zip tie it there. You just want to have a little loop up here because it needs to tie into our braking system. I ran it down back against the firewall and back down underneath the vehicle. Just followed my existing hard lines. Just threw a couple zip ties on it, hold it in place. Just followed it all the way back. Went over top my rear axle. Zip tied it to that factory wiring up there to help keep it up away from my exhaust. Ran it right over to this driver's side here, zip tied it to these existing holes. And then what I did is I took my wires and I separated them. Green wire we're going to end up running across over to the passenger side. White wire is going to be our ground. Brown and yellow we will attach to our driver's side signals. It doesn't really matter how you run the wires as long as you stay away from anything hot or moving. Once you get back to this point, you want to separate your wires. To remove our taillights, I'm going to use a pin like this. You can use a flathead screwdriver. There's a flat side here on the bottom of this cap. Pop that off. We'll have 2 of them. We'll have 2 of them on each light. Take a 10mm socket. Remove the 2 bolts. We're going to pull back on our light. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and unplug it. I'm going to push down this tab here and pull out. I'm going to repeat that process for the other side. Now we need to get our wires up behind our fascia. Airline tube, you can use it, piece of wire. This is pretty open back here. Another thing you can use is a piece of string and either a nut or a bolt like this. Something that's got a little bit of weight. Drop it down. We're going to take our yellow, brown, and our white wire. Just kind of tie it on there. Just pull it back up through. Good. Our white wire. I'm going to put my ring terminal on it. I'm going to put it right there. As long as we're in metal, we'll be good. And a ring terminal that comes in your kit. Self-tapping screw that comes in your kit. Put it right in place. Over to this side a little bit. Now we need to test our factory wiring to determine our brake and turn signal and our running light signal. How you test it is with a light tester. You'll just hook it up to a ground, have somebody sit in the seat and run through the signals, touching the end. You can determine which ones they are. We have determined through testing that our yellow wire, the black stripe, is going to be our brake and turn signal. This brown wire right here is going to be our running light signal. Go ahead and cut each of those. Strip them back. These wires are kind of thin, so I like to double them over. Blue spade terminals, or spade connector. We'll put one on each. And we're going to strip back both of these. Now, for this one, we're going to take our yellow wire, cut it about here. Then we'll add on our blue spade connector. I'm going to go ahead and add my diode. You want the single side that says out to go towards the light. And we'll take our yellow wire, strip it back, put on a blue spade connector. Our yellow wire from our diode kit is our brake and our turn signal. And then for our brown wire, we're going to cut it to length, except we're going to hold on to the end we just cut, and we're going to strip back both sides. They're going to have a large yellow spade connector like this. Put it down, and we're going to put it on right here. We're going to take our extra brown wire, feed it down through the fascia. With our green wire, we're going to run it across over to the passenger side. This is going to be our running light signal jumper wire for our passenger side. The back of our diodes have two-sided sticky tape. I'm going to stick those right there. This is going to be a very tight fit to get this plugged back into the back of the light. They don't make these wires very long, so just be careful when plugging this back in that you don't accidentally pull one of these off. If you pull those off, they're not going to work. You can plug your wiring back in and then reinstall your taillight. Now to run my green and brown wire over, I just went right through my bumper beam right here over to the other side. Now, my brown wire was not quite long enough. It wasn't going to reach all the way up to the top. So the extra white wire that I cut off, your kit's going to come with a butt connector. I just extended my brown wire with my white. Now I can run it up and I can make my connections. On our passenger side, we're running our wires and attaching them the same way we did on our driver. Green wire is going to be our brake and turn signal, running into the signal coming out of our vehicle, or factory brake and turn signal. And then our brown wire, of course, goes to our running light signal. The difference between passenger and driver side is we have one single wire, which is our brown wire, jumper wire, is running in over here, and it's not double like our driver side. Reconnect your wiring, and then you can reinstall your taillight. Now we're going to test out our wiring now that we're hooked up to our RV. Left turn, right turn, brake lights, running lights.